Pump it up, pump it up.
Trae.
Oh, come on, come on.
With Trae.
Pump it up, pump it up.
It's the day with Trae.
This is the day to gain inspiration, to make a positive change in the nation. We're inviting you to partake in conversation, to raise your vibration. It's the day that we will all celebrate all of our peace that make this thing elevate. Watch the negative fade away, cause it's the day with Trae.
Grand Rising, everyone. Welcome to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. I get to welcome you to a magnificent Monday to get your week started off. And of course, it's definitely doubly magnificent when I got my guest in the building. Niecko Glover Jr. is here, and we're going to be talking about an important event that is shaping up to really support entrepreneurs right here in our region. So I'm excited to have him here and share this information. But y'all know it's the top of the show, so I'm excited you're here as well. You get to help us grow by sharing this show with folks who you feel could benefit from our daily dose of dopeness. We always work to give it to you here on The Day with Trae. And if you can't watch us, you can definitely tune in and listen to us anywhere you find your favorite podcast. Just search Converge Media Network in The Day with Trae. You'll find us on your favorite platform. Now, before I get into it with Niecko here, I got to say there's something about rest being revolutionary, right? I've heard this term many a times, and I see it being used in a lot of different health and wellness kind of activities, events, and entities right here in the Pacific Northwest that are gearing up to remind us of how important it is that we take care of ourselves. And over the weekend, I was able to do a bit of this self-care by just having time to rest. Now, for someone like me, there's always an agenda. There is always a list of things to do and things I need to check up off that list. But, you know, sometimes you have to take a pause from your lists. I think we're in a society right now where technology use is heavy. You know, there's so many different things that are being thrown at us all the time. We're getting advertised to like at an exponential rate than we were even 20 or 30 years ago. So when I think about my childhood and how I was, you know, insulated with community. I talk about that a lot, but I recognize that at the time we didn't know that just to chill on the weekend was like something I probably took for granted then. And so now I have to be really intentional about the time that I spend relaxing. I have to block it out in my calendar, right? I have to be like, no, I'm not gonna go to the host of events that are happening this weekend. And sometimes you gotta be able to say no. So I'm encouraging you and reminding you that the statement, rest is revolution, is true, because right now there's so many things that we can be doing at any given time. And even for those who say, oh, Seattle there's nothing to do, it's not true. There are so many things to do. And sometimes you really have to be a little bit choosy with what you're choosing, right? So be selective and find those spaces to truly relax, because you deserve to have all the bit of rest that your body needs. Well, after this short break, up next, we got Niecko Glover Jr. in the building. We're going to be talking about Enterprise Nexus, an amazing career style fair event that's built for entrepreneurs. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
In Seattle, it's more than just coffee. It's community. At the station, we brew more than just your favorite cup. We brew connection. From Beacon Hill to Columbia City, we're a space for artists, activists, and everyone in between. A place to gather, create, and simply be. Whether you need a quiet place to work, a lively spot to meet friends, or just a moment to unwind, find your place at the station. More than coffee, it's home. Visit us in Beacon Hill or Columbia City. The station, where community happens.
I had some dental work done, and pain pills were introduced. It flipped a switch that I didn't see or know or understand, and I tried multiple times to show up and be a parent to those kids, but I couldn't do the minimum, and the grief about it was so huge that like I would have to drink to deal with what it felt like to be in my body. Each one of those people along my journey has contributed to my success. Don't count us out. More people recover with support. Learn how you can help someone's recovery at supportaddictionrecovery.com.
Well, on Fox Face Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face Off.
We are given the platform here with no fear.
Always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey,
Stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And shut the hell up. You interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Welcome back, y'all, to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. Joining me right now, we got Niecko in the building. What's up, Nick?
Hey, what's up? What's up? What's going on, Trae?
Hey, good to have you here, brother.
I'm glad to be here, sis.
Yeah, I know. Well, this is exciting because you've been doing a lot of different work around workforce development. Tell us a bit about how you've been really on this journey in your role and what that actually looks like for folks in the businesses that you're helping.
Yeah, so workforce development. So I work for the Workforce Development Council of Seattle King County on the one-stop operator team. So a lot of things that we try to do, we try to make sure that there's opportunities, there's funding opportunities and resources. And then we also work with a lot of the community and technical colleges throughout the county. So it's really like working with them and service providers to make sure that people are able to skill up, upskill, find training resources, and even just find educational dollars to support their advancement and their economic stability and mobility. And when it pertains to businesses, what we're trying to do is make sure that people have the opportunity to get these skill sets, go to their trainings, and then support the small businesses with low interest grant funds, or sometimes we're either offering zero interest loan funds out through community partners. So we're just trying to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to scale and mobilize here in Seattle King County.
Well, you know, I love this because this is really your passion, Nick. I mean, ever since I've known you, you've been like, hey, how do we help? You were doing this as a business, helping young people figure out what their passion is and get access to different careers. And now you're doing it in this role where you're making sure that these businesses are thriving. Tell us a bit about, you know, the importance of our small businesses thriving here in that region.
Man, it's super important, right? You know, we have so many different people, so many different opportunities here in the region, and so much funding that's coming through, right? Even though that, you know, we're having issues at the federal level, but there's still community grants, and making sure the small businesses have those opportunities because youth needs jobs. We have people that's migrating and importing, coming here from different countries and different states that's transferring here. So in order for those small businesses to be able to support and grow and advance where they're trying to be and expand, we got to make sure that they have the right technical assistance. We got to make sure that they have the right documentation in order to supply for different grant fundings that's coming up, right? The City of Seattle Office of Planning and Community Development has an RFP out, right? Making sure that all the documentations are able and in the right place to scale those things. Because if you don't have the proper paperwork, you don't have the proper backing, then it's not going to be able to suffice and build and grow. So I think it's the little thing, it's the tangible things, you know, to make sure that small businesses have the things that they need. So I think, you know, just walking that line with the small businesses, working with them and making sure that, you know, they have the necessities for their employees, they have the right signage up in their stores, they're putting themselves in the right locations. You know, it's kind of a little bit urban planning a little bit. So it's like, you know, anywhere that a business can put themselves, is making sure that they have the right message and the right infrastructure to build and grow and expand.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And also too, it is important. So I thank you for sharing that and for the work that you're doing. You know, there's got to be a certain approach. When we're talking about dealing with small businesses, a lot of the times you're working with folks who maybe have the idea and they need to get it into production. They need to figure out how to take something that's an idea or a hobby or a talent even and actually scale it as a business. So you're working with folks that are all over the spectrum. How do you approach these different entities and make sure that you know exactly where they're at in order to help them properly?
I mean, I think it's, you know, every business, every organization is different, but it's the biggest thing is meeting the customer or the client or the business where they're at, right? You know, walking through everything that they went through. What's your business plan? What's your mission statement? Where do you want to be in the next 5 years? You know, how do you plan to bring your operations in? You know, like what's the day-to-day things that go in and out your business? And I feel like from there, then you could kind of create a game plan for that prospective business or that prospective organization. But it's really seeing what the drawing board is. What does the market research say? What does the market data say? what industries are emerging, what industries are decreasing, right? So I think it's looking at all the different things and kind of basing that off of what's happening. Like we know the FIFA World Cup is coming up soon, right? So how do we capitalize those? How do we get the businesses to make sure they have their proper documentations, they have their permits to be at, Lumen Field, or they have their permits to be in the vicinity to make sure that they capitalize on those dollars that's coming into our region. So I think, it's kind of a twofold thing, it's kind of seeing where they're at and then kind of creating a game plan from there.
Well, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I just was going to say I love that because it seems relational to me, right? But when you think about like the county having that type of relational approach, oftentimes people don't experience it that way. Mm-hmm. So I love that you're representing with this one-stop team, you said? So one-stop operator, yeah. So tell us now about Enterprise Nexus. I mean, this is pretty new. I mean, when you're talking about a career fair style event, but really gearing it towards entrepreneurs. Tell us more.
Yeah, so September 5th or September 12th, we're going to be having this Enterprise Nexus at North Seattle College, the Opportunity Center. And how this kind of came about was I was having a conversation with Seattle Public Library, their library business program, and I was like, hey, we see that there's a gap in our community of people, in the job market, either struggling to find jobs. There's people that are employed, but they can't make enough money, so they have their side business, or there's people that are full-fledged entrepreneurs. So the opportunity kind of came about was, how do we know, or how can we find the resources or bring the resources to the people that most needed it? Mm-hmm. And so the biggest thing was, how can we make sure that we get the messaging, like where's the money? Everybody's asking, where's the money? Where's the funding at, right? Everybody wants to know that, right? Right? So I think the biggest things is kind of like bringing those organizations that have the dollars and putting them directly in front of community, directly in front of the people that need to ask those questions. There's people that don't know where to go, but the biggest thing is starting, right? If you could just ask a question, then you might be able to expand and build from there. So what we wanted to do for this event was bring the resources to the entrepreneurs and the business owners and the job seekers that are, interested in that, and then also have like some workshops as well, where we can talk about, self-employment access program. We could talk about, we have a presenter talking about AI agents and how AI integrates into small businesses and how you can use that to scale your business if you're just getting started. And we're also going to be bringing in the SBDC, the Small Business Development Centers, for the ideation portion. So we want to make sure that each kind of level of business is business owners or entrepreneurs are kind of getting in touch at every stage, even if you have an idea, if you're already started, if you have a side hustle, or if you're already an established business. I think it's pretty good to make sure to ask these certain questions. Where's the money? Who can I talk to? Who can I partner with? Because if you're trying to grow your business and you're trying to expand, you got to do it together, right? If you want to go far, you got to do it together. If you want to go fast, you got to do it alone. So that's kind of the thing.
Well, I really appreciate these deep, community values being a part of the work that y'all are doing to bring this event together. And you talked about, with Seattle Public Libraries and the partnerships, but also you were talking about bringing this information to a lot of the colleges and technical colleges. Tell us about those partnerships and how they help to make events like this happen.
Yeah, so one of the things that we do, we work with all the community and technical colleges throughout Seattle, King County. And a lot of those colleges and community colleges, they have various programs, different job training programs or entrepreneurship programs, and making sure that they're there because, they're working with the upcoming emerging students, the upcoming emerging workforce industry. Excuse me. So making sure that they are working with those specific colleges, they can tell us, hey, our students are looking for programs in this, how can we make sure that we have the proper funding, we have the proper support, we have the proper mobility to push this agenda forward. So I think, working with the colleges, working with them one-on-one and just making sure that they're in support and alignment of what's happening in our metropolitan region has been very substantial for this work that we're trying to do.
Yes, I mean, you're going directly to where the people are, right? Mm-hmm. And for a lot of folks, when they're trying to find resources, you start seeing these hubs emerge, which is really great. So the Workforce Development Council is doing the great work. Of course, before I let you go, I got to give you time to look right in this camera and let folks know exactly when and where they pull up so they can be at Enterprise Nexus.
Yeah, so Enterprise Nexus will be September 12th. It will be 11 to 3 p.m. at North Seattle College Opportunity Center. And that will be happening on September 12th again.
Yeah. Well, Niecko, thank you again. And if folks are trying to learn more, is there a website that they can stay plugged in for the work that you're doing?
Yeah, they can visit us at Workforce Seattle King County website, so workforceskc.org, or you can go to the Workforce Development Council website, workforceskc.org.
Okay.
Or you can connect with me on LinkedIn, Niecko Glover, and I'll be able to share information as well.
Thank you so much, Niecko. Great
You're
work,
welcome,
brother.
sis.
It's
Thank
great
you.
to see all the good stuff you're doing. Keep it
Thank
going,
you.
man. Anytime you got announcements, come on back to the Day with Trae. We got you.
You know I ain't gonna stop.
Absolutely.
I love you.
Love you. Oh my goodness, y'all. What a great way to start the week off with some information for these business owners. And of course, if you are a job seeker, it is open to you as well. Make sure you get there to Enterprise Nexus on September 12th. Y'all, I'll be wrapping it up right after this short break. Stay tuned. You're watching the Day with Trae.
When I had my first child, I didn't really understand the impact of my using until I gave birth to him.
I worked in weapons department in the Navy. That's a work hard, play hard kind of place. It very much became apparent that I had a substance use disorder.
Nobody asked me if I was okay. It was just medications that were thrown at me for so many years.
I had some dental work done, and pain pills were introduced. It flipped a switch that I didn't see or know or understand.
The first time I recovered, my dad was the person, the rock. When he died, I had a severe relapse. It was one of the darkest times in my life because I had a taste of what recovery could feel like. A lot of shame came in.
And the grief about it was so huge that like I would have to drink to deal with what it felt like to be in my body.
I had lost the military career. I didn't have a place to stay. I was out of work. Seemingly overnight, I became a vehicle resident.
And that continued to kind of escalate my use, is being afraid to ask for help.
I tried multiple times to show up and be a parent to those kids, but I couldn't do the minimum. In my mind, they were safer where they were than they were with me.
It does. It takes a village of support. It takes a village of resources.
Getting all the things that kind of made me whole again happened because of the stabilization.
There is no part of my sobriety that would be possible if it wouldn't have been with help from others.
Every one of those people believed in my ability to live differently.
Each one of those people along my journey has contributed to my success.
Don't count us out.
More people recover with support.
Learn how you can help someone's recovery at supportaddictionrecovery.com.
Hey, it's your girl, Carolina Sanchez, and The Nightcap is the late-night show where no topic is off limits. Join me as we dive into the wild world of relationships, sex, and everything in between. From hilarious dating disasters to steamy secrets, you know we've got it all. We've got celebrity guests, expert advice, and a cocktail in hand. The Nightcap is your guilty pleasure. So grab your drink and tune in because the best stories start after dark.
The Nightcap. New episodes weeknights at 10:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Welcome back, y'all, to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. Huge shout out to my guest, Niecko Glover Jr. for joining me. You know what? It's just such a great way to really showcase to you all the people behind the work. Oftentimes we see these major initiatives, we understand these major entities in our community, but we don't know who's actually behind the scenes doing the work. And I'm so glad that Niecko was here to share his passion for this work, as well as some of the great ways that they are working to support small business owners and meet folks where they are. So again, if you are someone who is a job seeker or a small business owner looking for additional resources to sustain your business, or to find that next level in your career, please make sure you go to Enterprise Nexus on September 12th, y'all, at North Seattle Community College. Thanks, y'all, again for watching. And for me, I'm just inspired to be sharing this information with y'all and inspired by the energy and passion of my guest, Niecko, today. I want you to be inspired too, because all of us have a role to play. Find your role so we can all benefit from your greatness. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back with y'all tomorrow. Until then, at 11 a.m. Peace.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.